Hello, my name is Dana Bellamy and I'm the author of Raising Happy Hearts and I'm the mother of 6. And here are 2 of my 6 right here. Is Kira, she's my oldest and she's 13. And it's Jerome and he's my second oldest and he's 12. And so I got asked a question on my page and it was, how do you get your kids to be obedient without forcing them to? And that was really a good question. And while I was thinking about it this morning, I thought, well, why don't I just ask my kids what their motivations are for doing the right thing? And so I just want them to share with you 2 things each that they said to me this morning so that they can tell you out of their own words, what they said. So Jerome, what's the first thing you told me?
I get praised when I do the right thing.
That's right. So he said he gets praised when he does the right thing. So it's important not just pay attention to your kids when they do the wrong thing and correct them, but also when you see them doing the right thing, you give them praise and lavish praise on them. And so when they're getting all this positive attention, that gives them the encouragement to keep doing the right thing. And what was the second thing?
I forgot. Sorry.
You forgot? Come here. Well, I'll tell you what he said. He said that I taught him the importance of having a good name. And the reason being is that during his schoolwork, it was teaching him about the importance of having a good name and he didn't understand what it meant. And so I got to share with him that every time you do something good, you're building up a good name for yourself, and every time you do something bad, you're chipping away at that good name. And I explained to him back when I was in high school, I was in 12th grade, and it was the time that everyone had their licenses. And so this one guy, he didn't have such a good reputation, and so one of the teachers thought that he left early. He left the school early in his car. And so he was trying to share with them, no, I didn't leave early. I was in the library. I didn't leave early. And they didn't believe him because he wasn't trustworthy and he didn't have a good name. So he told them, I was with Dana, you can ask her. And I was also in the library. And so the teacher came to me and said, were you in the library at such a time with this student? And I said, yes, I was there and he was there also. And he said, are you sure? I said, yep, I remember that clearly. And that was the end of it. And he believed me. And it was true. Obviously, I told the truth. But the fact that I had that good name, they believed me at my word. Whereas the other guy, because he didn't build up a good name, they didn't even believe him at his word. So I was teaching them the importance of having that good name and having that good reputation. And it also, is great to be that ambassador for Christ. When people see that you're doing the right thing and you have a good character and you love people, then that shows very highly about Christianity, which is really important as well. And so Kira, do you remember your 2 things? Do you remember the first one?
No.
You don't remember the first one? Remember what you told me about the importance of when, I tell you not to look at YouTube when I'm upstairs and things like that? What did you tell me about that?
Oh, yeah. You get to reason with, well, why I stepped up.
It's okay. Keep going.
Well, you reason with me.
Yeah.
Why not to do it?
Mm-hmm.
So I understand, why it's so important to actually not even watch YouTube, because there's a bunch of spooky stuff that comes up.
Yeah, amongst other things. So she's trying to share that I explained to her the why behind the no, which is what I explained in my video last week. And so Kira just explained to me this morning that was one of the reasons that causes her to want to do the right thing, is because I explained to her the why, and so she sees the wisdom behind it, and so she obeys my voice. And what was the second thing? I had it written down in case you forgot.
You not only have treasure in heaven, but people, they will give you stuff because you are such a blessing to them.
Mm-hmm.
That they will want to give you stuff because they just want to repay you for whatever you've been doing.
Yeah, so I would teach my kids from a heavenly perspective, and I let them know that every time you show love towards someone and every time you do the right thing without being asked, that you store up treasure in heaven. And so I teach my kids that. And not only that, that God will give you blessings on the earth for being obedient and for doing the right thing. But my kids have also noticed that when they do the right thing, that even strangers want to bless them. They're amazed at how blessed they get just through strangers. When we walk into a place and there's 6 kids and they're all well behaved, people, it turns heads and people notice. And for example, one time when I was in Germany on a mission trip, and my husband had the children, and there was 5 of them at the time, and he took them to a Burger King, and there was a couple there, an elderly couple, and they're watching the kids and how well behaved they were, and they were so blessed. They just came up to my husband and said, here's some money to get them all ice cream. Or when I took these 2 when they were little, I took them to a phone store to get new cell phones, and they were real little, and it took a long time to go through all this process, and they were just well behaved the whole time, and the people in the store were so impressed that they had these dummy phones that they used for display, and they pulled out the whole box and they said, we want you each to choose a phone because you guys were so good. And we just have those things happen over and over again. As a matter of fact, on the flight on the way to America from Australia, we were on a military flight, and we were the only family on the flight, and we had 5 kids at the time. And when we were almost at the first stop, we had one of the crew members came up to us and said, out of my, I believe he said, 25 years of flying, your children are the best behaved children that I've ever seen. And he gave them each a little patch as a gift because he was so blessed by them. And so the kids see this, and so they want to continue to be good because they see how blessed that they get. And so, you know, I didn't know all this to begin with. You know, God taught me this as I went along, and the main thing is that you keep that open dialogue with them, and you explain to them the why, and you give them the praise, and you give them the word, and just speak to them kindly, and they'll want to be obedient. As a matter of fact, I have the other 3 little ones sitting here on the couch that you can't even see, and I told them just to sit there and be quiet, and they are so quiet you probably haven't even heard them the whole video, and they're just a blessing, and I'll give them a treat when we're done just because, you know, I like to do that, give them treats. And so just to refresh, the 4 reasons that they gave, the first one was that I give them praise when they do the right thing, and that I taught them the importance of having a good name, that I give them a reason behind my no, and also that I teach them that they not only get treasure in heaven, but they also get gifts and treasure from people. And so I just wanted to share that with you, and I hope that that blessed you and helped you. And if it did, can you please like and share it so it can be a blessing to someone else? And please subscribe to my YouTube if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Oh, they said bye too.